Natasha Howard. On social media, Natasha Howard's posts are getting 100 times more likes, and Dewanna Bonner's being reacted more positively probably than she ever has been in her career. Right.
In the ever-evolving world of professional sports, and the WNBA in particular, moments come along that challenge long-held narratives, force a reevaluation of assumptions, and ultimately redefine what it means to be a part of a passionate fan base. One such moment arrived when Dewanna Bonner, a veteran with championship pedigree and an unyielding commitment to excellence, broke her 6-month silence on Twitter.
Listening to all the crazy people on social media calling her every name under the sun because she chose to play in Indiana.
In doing so, she not only confronted the relentless barrage of social media critics, but also set a new tone for the entire league. The drama, the controversy, and the unexpected counterattack all unfolded against a backdrop of a narrative that had for far too long painted Indiana Fever fans as toxic. What emerged was a story of resilience, passion, and the reclaiming of a space once marred by baseless criticism. For months, a vocal segment of social media, the so-called crazy people who can't seem to resist a chance to stir up controversy, had taken every opportunity to criticize Bonner for choosing to play in Indiana. These critics hurled every insult imaginable, dismissing her decision and ridiculing the very community that welcomed her. Their logic was as simplistic as it was misguided.
It was basically like talking positively about the fans that were interacting with her positively, and was responding to one of the crazy posts about her being like, I'm getting screenshots of things you were saying about me, can you just...
If the Indiana Fever fan base were truly toxic, then no high-caliber player would ever willingly sign with them. Yet here was Bonner, returning to the digital arena with a tweet that not only silenced her detractors, but also flipped the narrative on its head. In her long-awaited Twitter comeback, Bonner didn't offer a casual "I'm back" or a perfunctory post. Instead, she delivered a veritable bombshell, a tweet that resonated throughout the league and beyond, forcing even the most jaded observers to reconsider their preconceived notions. "Thank you," her message read, a simple statement imbued with layers of meaning.
WNBA offseason told a lot of dumbass narratives, right? It really did. And I hope they're gone for good. And I hope we spend so much less time discussing nonsense. But I think we've seen it stamped out this offseason. And one of those narratives was people wouldn't want to go to the Fever because of the Fever fan.
It was a heartfelt acknowledgement of the passion, authenticity, and unwavering support of Indiana Fever fans. In her own words, these supporters were loud, passionate, and real. A far cry from the toxic caricature that had been so relentlessly pushed by some pundits and online trolls. What makes Bonner's tweet so electrifying is not just the sentiment behind it, but the context in which it arrived. For too long, narratives had circulated in the sports media suggesting that the Indiana Fever fan base was somehow detrimental, an environment that would repel top talent rather than attract it.
To show you that I think hopefully all that stuff has been put in the rear view, and of course Bonner is a...
Critics argued that the fervor of these fans bordered on hostility, that their passion was misdirected, and that the environment was unwelcoming to players from elsewhere in the league. Yet the reality on the ground, as Bonner made abundantly clear, was quite the opposite. Imagine a scene where Bonner, phone in hand and coffee by her side, is scrolling through her social media feed. There she finds the same old criticisms, posts railing against her choice, screenshots of snarky comments, and a never-ending parade of negative voices insisting that signing with Indiana was a mistake.
Because this app is insanely too much sometimes. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for all the love I've received so far. Not unnoticed. The love is real.
But instead of retreating or offering a half-hearted response, she chooses to engage directly and decisively. With a few well-crafted words, she not only defends herself, but also champions the very fans who had been unfairly maligned. Real fandom, she asserts, is defined not by toxicity, but by genuine emotion and commitment. The impact of her words was immediate and far-reaching. Suddenly, the tired narrative of the toxic Fever fan base began to crumble.
Fever fans are probably starving for that, and I think seeing the validation of the players choosing their team.
Analysts, former detractors, and even rival players had to confront the undeniable truth. If the Indiana Fever were as repellent as some claimed, why were so many top-tier players, Dewanna Bonner herself among them, choosing to join the team? It was a question that struck at the heart of the old storyline. Bonner's decision, underscored by her passionate tweet, was not merely an individual choice, but a statement about the state of the league as a whole.
But I did think it was worth sharing simply because I know a lot of those fans, the new fans, felt rejected and beaten down a lot. And I think this is symbolic.
At its core, Bonner's move represented a rejection of the superficial metrics that had long been used to define team success. It wasn't just about contracts or statistics, it was about culture. In an era when social media can distort reality with its sensational headlines and character assassinations, the genuine, unfiltered expression of fandom matters more than ever. Indiana Fever fans, as Bonner pointed out, were anything but toxic. Their enthusiasm was the lifeblood of the franchise, a driving force behind sold-out arenas, merchandise flying off the shelves, and a palpable buzz that extended far beyond the confines of the basketball court. The narrative shift is not an isolated phenomenon. Consider the broader context of the WNBA offseason, a period often rife with baseless rumors and ill-conceived storylines. In recent years, many pundits had dismissed Indiana as a destination for elite talent, arguing that the environment was too volatile, too unpredictable.
No argument that the Fever are a great basketball destination, that Caitlin Clark is a great
Take, for instance, the remarkable turnaround in fan engagement. In a time when social media is often dominated by negativity and sensationalism, Indiana Fever fans have demonstrated that genuine passion can overcome even the harshest criticisms. The arenas are now filled to capacity, the merchandise is in constant demand, and the digital chatter reflects a community united by its love for the game. This transformation is not the product of clever marketing alone. It is the organic result of players and fans coming together to build a legacy. The new Indiana Fever fan base is defined by its electric energy, a stark contrast to the tired stereotype of toxicity that had been so stubbornly clung to in years past.
My 11-year career, I've never experienced the racial comments from the Indiana Fever fan base. We had her face on.
It is important to note that the revolution within Indiana is emblematic of a larger trend sweeping across the WNBA. In today's sports landscape, athletes are no longer content to be mere participants in a system dictated by external narratives and media spin. They are becoming the architects of their own destinies, choosing environments that align with their values and aspirations. When a seasoned champion like Dewanna Bonner publicly champions a fan base that has long been maligned, it sends a powerful message to the rest of the league. The measure of success is not solely in win-loss records or media hype, but in the strength of the community and the integrity of the culture. Bonner's decision to sign with Indiana and her subsequent social media outburst should be seen as a clarion call for a new era in professional women's basketball. Her message was not one of retreat or resignation, but of bold optimism.
Acceptable, honestly. And there's no place for it. And we've been professional throughout the whole entire thing, but I've never been called the things that I've been called on social.
She dared to challenge the prevailing assumptions, and in doing so, paved the way for a broader reevaluation of what truly matters in sports. It is a reminder that behind every statistic and every headline are real people, players who invest their hearts and souls into the game, and fans who, in return, offer unwavering support. Moreover, the ripple effects of this shift are being felt not only within Indiana, but across the entire WNBA. The league, known for its groundbreaking achievements both on and off the court, is now witnessing a transformation in how teams are perceived and how narratives are constructed. Long-standing myths about toxic environments and hostile fan cultures are being replaced by stories of unity, resilience, and the sheer joy of the game.
Fan base being painted with this broad brushstroke was always just stupid, really. There's no other word for it, because Caitlin Clark brought more.
This evolution is something that every sports fan, and indeed every stakeholder in the league, should celebrate. There is an undeniable irony in the way the old narrative has crumbled. For years, critics would insist that if Indiana Fever fans were truly as problematic as some claimed, then top-tier players would never willingly sign with the team. And yet, here we are. The league's elite, including those with extensive championship pedigrees, have chosen Indiana as the next step in their careers.
More fans to the league than it's ever seen. So many of them are Fever fans, and the new fans that come in outnumber the old fans that were already there. You don't want to tell those people they're unwell.
Their decisions speak volumes. They are saying in no uncertain terms that the vision and culture of the Fever outweigh any superficial criticism that has been spewed on social media. When seasoned veterans and rising stars alike make their home in Indiana, it is a tacit acknowledgement that the energy of the fan base is a crucial component of success. Consider the broader implications of this movement.
Fans, I think, felt unwelcome as a result of that, because when you look at every sport and every fan base, there are going to be bad apples. With every group of people,
The Indiana Fever are no longer seen as a last resort or a stepping stone for players lacking other options. Instead, they are being recognized as a franchise on the rise, one that offers not only competitive basketball, but also the promise of community, legacy, and a brighter future for the entire league.
and the larger that group becomes, of course, then the larger the small percentage of bad apples are. But if you've ever followed sports, you see people acting stupid online or even live act.
This shift in perception has a profound impact on everyone involved. For the fans, it means that the love and passion they bring to every game are finally being validated. For the players, it provides an environment where they can focus on their craft, confident that the support behind them is genuine and steadfast. And for the league, it marks the beginning of a new chapter, one where quality, character, and culture are valued above all else. At Sport Pulse, we believe that moments like these are transformative. They remind us that sports are more than just a series of games or a collection of statistics. They are a reflection of the human spirit, a testament to what can be achieved when talent, hard work, and genuine passion converge. The story of Dewanna Bonner's return to Twitter, her bold tweet, and the subsequent reawakening of the Indiana Fever fan base is a prime example of this phenomenon. It is a reminder that every time an athlete dares to stand up against entrenched negativity, they pave the way for a future defined by optimism and unity. Let's delve a little deeper into the mechanics of this narrative transformation. In the days following Bonner's tweet, the reaction on social media was nothing short of overwhelming.